Educare Foundation Inc., a non-religious non-profit based in New Jersey since 1994, has been a beacon of hope for underprivileged children in India, providing educational support to prevent dropouts caused by extreme poverty. Expanding its mission to the U.S. in 2012, Educare funds vital resources such as desks, uniforms, computers, and even infrastructure for schools, including those for deaf and mute students. Operated entirely by volunteers, over 90% of donations directly benefit programs, ensuring maximum impact. Inspired by leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King, Educare transforms lives by keeping children in classrooms and away from child labor. I had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Atul Jain, VP Educare Foundation. Let's hear from him about the foundation and its upcoming annual gala on December 15th at Royal Albert's Palace. First of all, welcome Atul to ITV Gold. So tell me, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you, Piaji, inviting me to represent Educare here. Really glad for this opportunity.
You know, pleasure is all ours, but let's start right away. Let's talk about the foundation and mission of Educare and what inspired Educare to be born. And that was the year 1994.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it really started off, we had Muniji visiting from India, and there were a group of like 4 disciples sitting on a dinner table and having a great time. And all of a sudden, Muniji said, you have such a wonderful life. You have kids, family, all like well educated, came from India to here. Now, why don't you really help out some poor kids who are vulnerable and they really need your support to really start some sort of a charity and really provide the education? So they liked that idea, they liked the concept, and they said, you know what? Maybe we can start doing it. Just 4 of them got together, and then they kind of formed this organization called Share and Care. And they said, let's just start supporting these schools. And they really went back to their core villages, core town. They thought that's where we can make the easy connection with the kids, with the school, and we can serve the community. So it started off there for the couple of years. And then soon they learned that this charity already exists. And they said, we have to do some due diligence around it. And that gave the birth to the Educare Foundation. So even though it started in 94, but then it got incorporated a little bit later after that. Now, from that point onwards, 2008, when the Mumbai incident happened, there were a lot of kids who were displaced, and there was a charity in Ratnanidhi, and they wanted kind of, some association, some help from the foreign funds. So this Educare charity got involved, but the government was putting certain restriction, and they wanted to really qualify us to really provide the support. So they came out with the criteria that you're going to support the the school, the kids, the education for like 5 years. You have to have the minimum like 30 or 40 kids. And we agreed to those terms. And we kind of started supporting them for that 5-year commitment. So it kind of gave us the blueprint that we just don't want to go in like 1 year, one time. We have to show the continuity. We have to show the connection, and we have to build that relationship. So that was really, giving us the new birth. And then we started to add the few schools and started to make those kind of similar commitments.
So let's go to how has your foundation, Educare, helped children in India, as well as, you guys are helping in US over the years too?
Yeah. So in India, when we send, the funds, we would have the 3 teacher committee who would look at who are the needy kids, who are the vulnerable kids, where the parents may be struggling, but the kids really want to, have the education.
Right.
So there would be a committee of 3 teachers who would be deciding what scholarship needed. Then there are schools in India which are supported by the government. So they don't really need the tuition support, but they may need the support for the incidentals and some supplies. So we have helped certain schools kind of providing that. Then in 2015, it evolved where we saw the need that these schools also need the computers, the computer labs. So we provided the support for them to open up the computer lab, provided, the network connections and all that stuff. Then soon after that, there was a pandemic. And that did not stop the learning of the kids. So what we thought that, okay, just like in the US, like everything is going online, even though these kids are in a village where sometimes power could be struggle, internet could be struggle, but we are going to provide an iPad type of, device and even provide like internet connection and all that. So when I talk about the education, we thought about those connection too, the electricity and also kind of the internet connection. So the combination of those things, they were kind of created and we helped out the kids. And in US, for example, we have this scholarship program. So
before you talk about US, I just was wondering what made you decide that you want to basically be expanding your Educare programs to US also?
So it came to the point where we felt, we started this organization with the concept to help our hometown. And we want to do the same thing where we continued our journey here in the US.
Right.
And our families are growing. So we wanted to give back to our community here as well. So that gave, the other birth to kind of really support, the school and the tuition in the US as well.
So what kind of support do you provide here?
So in the US, we have done a few things. One is, which is ongoing, is the scholarship program. And that is associated with a couple of universities. And that scholarship is, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. We would have the essay competition, and then the support is provided. The other we have worked on, like the school supplies and, the drives, like backpack drive basically. So those things on and off go depending upon the year and the involvement from the kids.
I was earlier talking to you, and I know the way you were talking, you kind of, pride yourself, especially the Educare, in having the minimal administrative expenses with over like 90% of donations going to programs. So tell me, how do you maintain this level of efficiency?
Yeah, so, all of us associated with Educare for the last, 30 years, they're all volunteer. They're all professionals. They all have, in my opinion, wonderful life.
Right.
And the kids who are like, doing wonderful. So they wanted to give back to society. So they just don't want any admin because we are the one who are contributing. So we don't want to take anything, right? Now, there are programs which we run and they do cost money. So yes, we do have the grant sponsor who would take care of the bulk of the expense. So for example, this Gala event we have our grant sponsor for the last few years, Mr. and Mrs. Bulgaria. They have been supporting it, wholeheartedly. We really thank them big time. And we get fully funded on that. Then we have this Educare Walk that's also gets fully funded, fully sponsored. And then we do have some tournament during the winter time. We would have the ping pong or pickleball. So just to keep the volunteer connected and also to our friend circle expanded to have that drive keep on going. So yes, it is really the grant sponsors who really support us big time.
All right. So, since you have been talking about the Gala, let's talk about the Gala. So let me know, what activities have you guys planned for the Gala?
Yeah, so this year we are so lucky to have you, Pierre, to
Oh, thank you.
really do the MC for us.
Thank you.
So really appreciate that. We would open it with, our Forum Shah, who is having an live band. So
Yes.
that's going to be the performance. We are looking forward for that. This is the first time we are doing the orchestra, the live band. We are going to be showcasing our schools, the principal who run them, the kids who are benefiting from these programs, and really seeing the vibes, really seeing the depth of it, like how these donor money is really going into it, because that's
right
really
places.
important to kind of really showcase that. And then we have the dance academy, performing some, dance activity and some raffle fun activities, and with a wonderful lunch.
Wonderful, and I'm sure me, along with so many others, are looking forward to this gala. So I want you to talk about any kind of message you want to share with those like attending the gala for the first time.
Great question. Now, I would say that the way I look at it, that we are fortunate to be here, and what do we really like around us? We want people to be educated, people to be having good life, and to people to really contribute to the society for the better. So our message would be that if you donate $200 a year, it can really send one kid to school in India for one full year. And that $200 we are not looking for just like one time and 1 year deal. Because these kids don't stop learning, don't stop going to school after 1 year. And we want that commitment to continue, commitment to grow. So that's a message I want to give, that $200 which you can provide, can really go for long way to support the kids' education.
So tell me, this is $200 you're talking about, but for the attendees and of course supporters who want to get like more involved, like volunteering and everything else, how can they do that?
So we have currently about 10 schools, and it is not as simple as like cutting the check and then mail it out.
Right.
It is really getting the connection with the school, the principal, the administrator, getting to the reports, getting the feedback of their requirement, and to ensuring the funds are reaching timely, and it is having the usage what we intend for. So that kind of work takes about, I would say, 25-30 hours a year type thing. So yes, volunteer can help, kind of helping it out on that, managing the the school itself. Then there are like other youth programs like Toastmaster. We have done it over the years, and that required some dedicated time and attention from the volunteer. And we have done like the summertime, the chess type of program, or any kind of other learning type of activity. So it comes out from the students or the kids what they need, and then also sometimes the volunteer who may come out with the idea. So yes, we are definitely open for that, and we'll welcome anybody to help and associate with the Educare.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see you, all of you are doing amazing, amazing work. So tell me, any like long-term goals for the foundation?
Long-term goals, very interesting question. So a few years ago, I would say that we had 20 plus schools, and today we have kind of close to half of that. And the reason being is that the government in India requires FCRA approval, which is the approval to receive the foreign funds. So we just can't select like any school and send any check, right? So it has to be like, well vetted out. And some of these schools which are in a process of getting it reestablished, their accounts and all that, so we may get them back. But that's where the focus would be, to help the school to get that certification. So whatever we need to provide from our end, whatever they need to provide to help the government satisfy the requirement, so that would be the one. The second thing is that whether it's a donor, whether it's a volunteer, yes, feel free to come to Educare, where they can identify the school, maybe from their hometown, maybe where they lived or where they worked or where their parents could be. And if they have this FCRA approvals, then we can roll them into our sleeve. The other thing I would say, which comes to my mind actually, is I kind of go back to my own roots, right? And I see that if we could help somebody, not just in India, to get that school education, the middle school to the high school, but also help them to really apply for college here in the US and get the opportunity like we did. And then hopefully they can start the cycle, which we have been doing. So we can come full circle to it. So that would be our dream, that we want this wheel to continue rolling.
So the question that's coming to my mind lastly is, yes, you have the gala on the 15th of December, and it's at Royal Albert's Palace, and it's in the daytime, right?
Yes.
So anybody and everybody can come, whosoever wants to, right?
That is correct. Anybody can come in, and we do have the flyer, the online registration, whether it's a WhatsApp or through your TV network. We'll love to reach out to your audience and request them, welcome them, and they can definitely register. And we would request that because we would need the head count to make the necessary arrangement. So it is very critical that anybody can come in, but with the registration, please.
All right. Thank you so much, and I would like to wish you all the best.
Our pleasure. And again, I thank you very much on behalf of Educare and Educare team. We are looking forward to see you here very soon to MC our program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.